Yo, can you hear me? Back once again. Kingdom of Boxing. We're working. So, you should know the topic in the title. And this is my opinion. I think it's not just my opinion, this should be the majority opinion. Because I'm going to give you facts here that people shouldn't be able to argue with. You shouldn't be able to argue these things. There is other arguments you can come with, but these points I'm making are facts. You can't deny these, okay? So let me get into it. Why should we blame Wilder for us not getting the AJ Wilder fight next? And here's my 3 top reasons. Yeah? And my first reason would be because Wilder has a track record of not getting these big fights. Yeah? He's had 40 fights and he hasn't had the big fights. He hasn't even fought great fights like Shannon Briggs. Obviously he didn't fight Klitschko, the other Klitschko. He didn't fight Povetkin. All these fights are falling through. And a lot of stuff from his side is off. Like for example, like say you've got 2 brothers. Yeah? And one brother, you know, he always goes in your stash and takes some weed out of there. You're always jacking weed from your stash, yeah? And you got another brother who you know never does that. So one day they both come to your house and they chill for a bit and they bounce. And you realise there's some weed gone from your stash. Who are you going to blame for the weed going out of the stash? Are you going to blame the guy who you know always goes and jacks the weed? Or are you going to think it's the one who never really does that? So this is my point. Wilder has a track record of these issues, of not getting these fights. And AJ has a track record of getting these fights. He got the Parker fight through. He got the Klitschko fight through. He got the Takam fight wasn't supposed to be, but that other fight fell through, not because of AJ. The Povetkin fight fell, is it Pulev? The Pulev fight fell through because of Pulev injured. Also the AJ White fight happened. AJ's had a lot of undefeated fighters on his record. So we can't blame AJ, really. If we look at the history, we can't blame AJ for this fight not happening. We should be blaming Wilder because he has a track record. Yeah? So that's my first point I'm making. My second point would be he's pricing himself out 100%. And I'll tell you why he's pricing himself out. He's pricing himself out because we tried to help him. The UK tried to help Wilder to make the purse money that he's asking for. He wants around 30 mil, I know this. He wants about 25, 30, 35 mil. And if he would have done what we said at the beginning he should do, he would have got that offer, 100%. If he would have come to the UK for the Parker fight, and not even that, even before that, if he would have fought Dillian Whyte, like we said, him versus Wilder versus AJ would have been a sick fight. He would have been offered around 35 mil. If he would have knocked out Whyte, Wilder's offer would be double what he got offered this time. So who can we blame for that? We can't blame the person who's making the offer because he's only got so much to deal with. He's got 50 million in the pot. He has to split that. But if Wilder would have beat Whyte, the pot would be a lot bigger. Therefore, he would have got a lot bigger share. And this is facts. You can't argue this. If he would have knocked out Whyte, if Wilder would have knocked out Whyte, his offer would have been huge. And my third reason would be, is because his promotion team, in my opinion, his promotion team are rubbish. They do not know what they're doing. As we see by all these other issues that I brought up previously, a lot of this has to do with his promoters, his advisors, his team, you know? Because these fights wouldn't be... It's not Wilder's job to make these fights. We shouldn't be blaming Wilder too much, because it's his team as well. His team's job to make these fights. Who is his team? Who's his promoter? Willie Schillifinkel, Al Heyman, that other guy, his trainer, his dad. Who's his promoters? Because they're doing a terrible job with Wilder. Look at the money he's getting. He needs to fix up, man. You can't blame the UK for this. You can't blame AJ for these problems. We should all make a push towards Wilder, and don't let him off the hook for these mistakes he's making. I see a lot of people making excuses for him, but I also see a lot of people basically saying what I'm saying. Wilder hasn't done the right things. He's made the wrong moves. Therefore, he don't deserve more than £20 million for fighting AJ. Why would he deserve more than £20 million for AJ? Why? He has one belt. That belt's not really that important right now. And also, don't forget, Wilder said he is out here looking for legacy. Yeah? We can play the clip. He's out here looking for legacy. Now we offer him the fight for a lot of money, and he's getting out of the fight because it's not enough money apparently. In my opinion, he's just trying to get a payday where if he loses, he can go and retire. Where he won't have to fight again. He can just go and retire, disappear somewhere. He's got that money now. Because if Wilder takes a loss from AJ, he will go down as one of the worst champions in history. Fuck all that 40-0 chasing 49-0. When Mayweather did 49-0, he beat like 23 champions. You're like 40-0, and I don't think you've beat one legit champion. Your best win was Luis Ortiz, who was definitely around 50 years old, because he's a boxer, yeah? He's been boxing all his life. And when you box, you stay looking young forever. And when you get to Luis Ortiz's looks, when you look like Ortiz, you're like 10 years older than what you look. And Ortiz looks around 50, so he's probably around 59, 60, you know. You never know. With these Puerto Rican fighters, we know that. So that's about it really from Kingdom of Boxing. I gave you my few reasons, and I think they're very, very strong reasons, and they can't really be disputed. You have other arguments out there, you know, yeah. But how much is the actual facts? How much is it true? We have to look at what's actually happening in the situations. So this is Kingdom of Boxing, man. We're keeping it real, yeah. Try and give you the latest shit. Kingdom of Boxing. We're gone again.